Welcome to that little crafting place where we make miniatures and much more. Hello! Today we are going to build a $150 jewelry jar for eBay. We're going to begin with the foundation to put our brooches around on the lower level, and that's going to be this sparkly little sewing machine trinket box. That little trinket box resells between $12 and $14. If I remember correctly, I think that is a Sarah Coventry pin, and we're going to tuck that on the outside, and the goal is to have all the beautiful brooches face the outside of the jar. This little leaf brooch is not particularly valuable, but it will be wonderful in crafting. There are 3 brooches that don't really have any value to them, and there are 2 hair clips. I'm going to use those as a foundation up the center. In the end, there are at least 40 brooches in this jar, valued between $10 and $18 a piece if someone has a booth. So I know that someone is going to make a profit on this little collection. This jar would also be perfect for that future bride who wants to make her wedding bouquet out of vintage brooches. Resale value can also vary depending on your location. And plant that flower right there against the glass. Wedding bouquets are expensive, and it's hard to find a lot of brooches in one spot. I did plan on selling these on eBay, but I don't have a super big store. The store really belongs to my son, and he earns money for college in this little eBay store. So there were a lot of brooches and not a lot of room, so we decided that we're going to make this jewelry jar. We did sell quite a lot of brooches at a yard sale over the weekend, and we made our money back, and now we're going to sell these. And if they don't sell, this jar turned out really pretty, and I'll still enjoy it. I grew up wearing pins and brooches. I received them every Christmas. Even when I was 6 or 7 years old, I got a new pin for Christmas. I had everything from Scotty dogs to ladybugs and butterflies and dragonflies. I just love them. My favorites were cameos. I love cameos. My mother was a much older lady when I was born, and so I grew up around adults all my life. My brothers were much older than myself, and all these ladies wore brooches on their coats and on the lapels of their dress suits. And even today when I go out, I usually have a pin on my left lapel. It's shaping up very nice. We still have a few more things left over from our yard sale, so we're going to have another little one at another location next weekend. And then after that, what's left over is going to go to the thrift store. This is not a valuable pin, but it's pretty for Christmas, and it's just going to be a little support in our jar. This is a pretty old piece, but it's really only useful in crafting. This little swan is sweet. I had one like that when I was young. This is a beautiful little emerald brooch. Very pretty. We're going to put that one right there. I'm trying to color coordinate as I go. This one's very iridescent, very sparkly. A lot of bling in this jar. This brooch is a little mid-century piece. I have several mid-century brooches in this jar actually. This brooch is marked TAT, and I'm not familiar with that mark. Let's take a look and see how our arrangement is shaping up. Very nice. this little dragonfly right there. And next is a hummingbird. And he'll perch right there. Right there. This beautiful little ruby heart will be perfect for Valentine's Day. But we're going to take a look at this. Now this is very special, and this is going to be a surprise treat inside this jar. This is a German locket. I was told from the antique store that it was silver. I'm not really sure, but it is about 100 years old. It is marked Germany, and we're going to wrap that up and put it as a secret inside the jar. It's like a little prize. Well, gosh, that means we're halfway through the jar. Let's see, what are we going to put in next? I think we're going to put this beautiful pin from Russia. This is handmade and signed, and it really is beautiful. The resale price for this pin is between $8 and $10. You'd think it would be easy to choose which to put where, but it's not. This is pretty. It's one of my favorites. That is one of my favorite little pins. Really pretty. There's a simple little heart. Then we have this sweet little vintage necklace. We'll put tape on that chain so nothing gets tangled. That should do it. We'll drop that right in the center. And next we have this pretty little pin. That's really beautiful. One of my favorites. But you can't keep everything. I think this jar is shaping up quite nicely. That's a beautiful old pin. This one's pretty. Perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Now we have this beautiful little flower. That's very 1960s. And this pretty little bow. This pretty little pendant can be a pin or be on a necklace. These beautiful little clip-on earrings are perfect for the collector. And actually there are 2 sets of clip-on earrings in this jar, and somehow I must have tucked the others in without mentioning it, but there are 2 sets in there. That's a beautiful pin, perfect for Valentine's Day. We're nearing the end, so what do we put in next? There's another little pendant. We'll pop that in the center. The little tree. Put that in the center. Yeah, we'll put our little rose in there, right on the edge. We have 2 flowers that are white, so we'll put that one right there. It's looking very nice so far. We have this sweet little starburst. We'll pop that right there. And now for our little heart. And we're going to put that right there. And here's where we are so far. This is a beautiful pin, nice and black, perfect for a white shirt. This is a little tie clip style, and it's a little nesting bird. Someone will enjoy that. This is a beautiful 1950s, 1960s piece. This sweet little pin would be perfect for St. Patrick's Day. And another little ruby. Make sure that's closed. I'm doing my best to make sure that all the pins are closed. Put that right there. That's an older piece. It is a little tarnished. Some of the gold's missing. It would be perfect for crafting. We're going to tuck in one of the little spiders we made last Christmas. And that'll be a nice surprise. And this necklace we're just going to drape right over the top. And now we're going to seal the jar. I think it looks very pretty just as a decorative piece. I can't decide if I'm going to use that or one of my little decorative button hats for my button men. No, I think I'm going to choose the colorful vintage piece. Now I've just made a little puff. I'm going to use hot melt to glue the puff to the canning jar. We're not going to be able to use the ring in the end because the fabric won't allow the ring to close on the jar, so I'm simply going to seal it with hot melt. I almost missed this last little pin. I'm going to take double-sided tape and anchor down the doily. I find that this double-sided tape is a must in the craft room. I always keep 2 spools of it on hand. Now we're going to use the hot melt and anchor down the lid. There we are. That's going to be perfect. I'm going to put some double-sided tape around the rim of the jar, and that's going to anchor down the edge of the doily. All right, I think that's going to work perfectly. Now let's add a little blingy touch to the top of the jar. And now I think we need to put something pretty around the rim and really fancy this up. I purchased this beautiful sparkly trim several years ago when I made my video for upcycling vintage cream pots, and I made trinket dishes out of them. I'll put the link for that video in the description below. Now we're going to take our hot melt and tack it down, and then it'll be all set to photograph and list. So everything I do on YouTube and on eBay, helping my son, is all for college. And that's why I started my YouTube channel. I love crafting, I love repurposing things and upcycling things and doing miniatures, and I really hoped to create a revenue stream to help my son pay for college. So that's why I have a channel on YouTube. Thank you so much for being a part of our experience and helping put my son through college. If you like what you see in this jar, you can find it in our eBay store. It is listed now. The link to our store will also be in the description below. I'm really very happy with the results, and I'm really glad that you've joined me while I build this jar. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Please like and subscribe. Share your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Tap that notification button for upcoming announcements of thrifts and crafts, but most of all, have a lovely, lovely day.